How are the Arizona Cardinals preparing Carson Beck for the 2026 season? We hear from his offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett. Oh, yeah. And also we hear from Nick Rallis with updates. The Cardinals' new look defense, Johnny Venerable.
Plus, are the Arizona Cardinals making a boneheaded mistake? Yes. Delaying the inevitable. It's time to pay Michael Wilson. PHNX Cardinals starts now. Hey, welcome in. From Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. What's good, everybody? Hello, it's your PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier, #1 in the world, Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny Venerable. He is Bo Brock in Studio K. Happy OTAs on June 4th. No man behind the Mac. What a loaded show we have for you today.
No doubt about it. Wrapping up OTAs, and up next, Johnny Venerable, something called mandatory Mini-Camp.
Ooh.
What's up to everybody in the chat? Jersey Cardinal, G. Willikers. Hi, Deb. I see you. Goonie, Naheem. We've got Z-Man. We've got, how about Alberto, Cam, Utah Cards fans. Never a pleasure. Cody Jacobson, Alberto, I'd mentioned. Mike D, Mondo. We've got Snacks. How we doing? Terry, Louie, an entire squad. Dave H, Mac Daddy, everybody locked in, loaded, ready for a big old show.
Hit that like button. Mandatory good vibes here, by the way, here on this fine program. Mandatory attendance for Jacoby Brissett starting Monday. We're going to get into that manana. But today, I don't really want to talk about Jacoby Brissett, or at least a ton. I want to focus on the youth of the Cardinals quarterback room, which is reserved for the singular Carson Beck, who, unlike Jacoby Brissett, is at his job, is at work. And I like somebody pointed this out. I think it's a great point. Has Carson Beck signed his rookie deal yet?
No.
Still showing up to work, still grinding every day, still battling, right?
That's a guy who wants it, right?
Yeah, the moxie, the gusto on the kid. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not like, he's just trying to wait out and see how much guarantees are given to the second round and all that kind of business stuff. It's because he wants it more. That's what I feel like this is all about.
I've heard that about him. In all seriousness, he is a part of OTAs right now. He's going to continue to be a fixture for Cardinal fans until he plays. And, Nathan Peterman once upon a time started as a rookie. They're going to start Carson Beck. He's going to play meaningful games for the Cardinals this year. Just when are they going to pull that ripcord? And we've talked about it, Bo. That's why this Jacoby Brissett thing is so ridiculous, because it feels like you give him a bump, you're just delaying the inevitable. And whether you're Ossenfort or LaFluer, or the combination, the optics of that are going to be rough. So anytime you get to hear, the powers that be, whether it be LaFluer, in this case today, Nathaniel Hackett, talk about Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Cardinal fans want to hear the same thing. It's just hey, how is he progressing? Let's get to the show. Let's get to the big dance here.
Right. I mean, I think more Cardinals fans want some of the box office slop that Marvin Harrison Jr. provided us earlier this week. He's a baller, but we're not going to get any of that from Hackett. Spoiler alert. But you're going to hear some complimentary things about the rookie. But I think you're going to realize once we start playing some Nathaniel Hackett clips that Nathaniel Hackett is going to err on the side of more coach speak. He's going to talk about each and every player, but more so about the position groups and more so about the offense as a whole. And he's not going to kind of deviate from that very much. So You're not going to get kind of what you were looking for, like Nathaniel Hackett, like Marv did, gassing up the rookie signal caller who was drafted in the 3rd round out of Miami via Georgia. So, we're going to get some answers here in the next couple days. I mean, it's some clarity as far as the QB1.
Yeah.
But, this team, we all know, it's very apparent, even if somebody is declared quarterback one, starting quarterback for this team, that they're not going to have a strong grip on it, and very unlikely that they're going to be, the future of the position either. Like these are all, potential placeholders, and Beck resembles something of a quarterback of the future more so than anybody else. And that's where I think the fan base is leaning in on him.
Yeah. He's got the experience. You're going to hear Hackett talk about that, but it's really going to come down to, and I liked what Hackett said today, is like they're pushing him. He's being pushed right now. They're not taking it slow. They're not revamping everything from scratch, a la Drew Aller with the Pittsburgh Steelers. After that, those quotes about Drew Aller, by the way, if you notice, like Steeler fans, Steeler media, they're basically just like mum's the word on Drew Aller. Like nothing we can say is going to be helpful here.
Yeah, they're hiding him now, and they're acting like they didn't take the Penn State quarterback in the third round. But the Cardinals burned the pick as far as their selection, where we're actually talking about Carson Beck legitimately starting games here in his rookie season. One is a project that is going to be reset. Words from within the Steelers organization, and the other they're trying to, like, I think the biggest roadblock between Carson Beck and being legitimately viewed as quarterback one of this team is, can he keep up with the game speed? Can he keep up with the pace at the NFL level? And you can be in the biggest college programs in the country, and he was with Georgia, and he was running scout team, and on the other side he had Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and the who's who on that defense, and he was seeing it from that standpoint, the best that the college ranks had to offer. And that continued as he transferred to Miami, and he won big game after big game, and he was as battle tested as they come. But I think one thing that Mike LaFleur's staff is trying to kind of pause or slow play and make sure that they don't skip anything is that this entire rookie class, from Carson Beck to the guys that were selected ahead of him, from Jeremiyah Love to Chase Pasantis, that they're going to acclimate to the game speed and at the correct pace, because they don't want to do any, irreparable damage to the guys, in their long-term future.
Yeah, Monti Ossenfort may be week to week, month to month as far as Cardinal fans go, but I feel like Hackett will be here as long as LaFleur's here, because he's not calling the plays. So they can theoretically, like, I get your point and I agree with it to some extent. Like, they can take their time, but there's also there's an urgency to see what he is. And I was listening to something else today. I'm not going to share what it was, but it's more local slop. And it basically, there was an insinuation from this individual that you're not going to find out anything from Carson Beck this year. Like, there's no scenario in this person's mind that Carson Beck is going to be able to show you one way or the other that he could be the guy or not. And I'm like, well, then you just fold up the seat. What are we doing here? Well, then you just fold up the seat. Why would you take him 65th overall? Like, the worst of all scenarios is that, in my mind. I couldn't believe this individual said that, just because, like, you're going to need flipping clarity for a top 65 pick going into next offseason, because, like, what if you don't know enough and you pass on a quarterback 7th overall or 10th overall, and then you roll with him and he can't play next year? Right. Like, you have to get definitive answers this year. And again, like, he's also old as hell, which is something that, like, a lot of people aren't, at least locally here, like, coming to grips with. Like, right. What more do you need to see? This isn't Ty Simpson, who, like, I would have played right away, but I get like, he's not playing for a couple of years with the LA Rams. Like, Carson Beck played over 50 college football games. What are we doing here? Sitting him for journeyman Jacoby Brissett or Gardner Minshew, who won't both probably be on this roster next year. Yeah. I thought that was a crazy statement, given, like, do you just not have the temperature of this quarterback room? Right. Are there other quarterbacks that you're privy to that are going to be part of this team that the rest of us don't know about? Because I don't know who they are. Yeah, that's a very interesting statement to make. And now I've got an inkling of where it could have come from, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As far as, Beck, you have to have a little foresight here, right? And as you said, take the temperature and try to forecast how this season is going to go. And understand that if Jacoby Brissett does, in fact, and very likely is going to return
and take on the reins of QB1, he's a 1-11 as a starting quarterback. Whether or not, that's fair. And if Mike LaFluer wants to hold against him or not, that's fact. And if he loses week 1, he's 1-12. And if he loses the next 3, he's 1-15. And if that continues to pile up, then the Cardinals are going to have to look elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And then if Gardner Minshew isn't able to work some sort of Minshew magic, then he's going to be cast aside. And at that point, and with significant amount of games left, Carson Beck is going to be given an opportunity to see what he's all about. And you're going to get a little bit of a sense of that. Like the Cardinals were able to tell in how many games? 13 games with Josh Rosen. They knew. Even though they were saying in March, Josh is our guy. They knew exactly. Like they needed to find an upgrade to the quarterback position, and they did in Kyler Murray. And if Carson Beck, if that's the type of season he has, at least they'll know going into a pivotal offseason that, hey, we need to find a significant upgrade at the quarterback position. Like we like Carson Beck. There's a chance they could like Carson Beck, like the team like Clayton Tune to an extent as a backup, but like they would know that, hey, we're going to see even darker days continued if this is the direction we want to go with this quarterback position any further.
Can I just point this out too? Like 2017, does anybody remember 2017? The San Francisco 49ers, they took a quarterback via Kyle Shanahan in his first draft with the team, named CJ Beathard, who was not a 10th of the prospect that Carson Beck is. Beathard also went 50 picks later, pick 104. Does anybody know how many games CJ Beathard started for that horrendous Niner team?
What, 10?
7. It's like half the season back then.
Right.
Basically half the season. CJ Beathard, pick 104 for a Niner team, didn't have the guy looking for answers, new head coach. It's like CJ Beathard played for them. It's just like, what are we doing here? He's going to play. He's going to play at least half of the games.
Right.
Like the work starts now, or it started a month ago, to get him ready when he needs to play.
Yeah.
Because we all know, unless Jacoby Brissett can pull like a rabbit out of his hat and win games, which he has not been able to consistently do ever. Same thing with Minshew, outside of an outlier year, really, with Indianapolis in a bad division. It's like we got to know when to pull the ripcord. If you're not smart enough to identify the fact that that's all they're talking about, Bidwill, Monty now, hot seat Monty, it's like, when can we do it? When can he play? When is he getting in the lineup? Like, they're going to say all the right things, and they're going to downplay it, and Jacoby Brissett's likely going to show up, and they're going to fraud it up with him for however many starts. But for a team that is projected to win no games, there is no chance that the Cardinals are going to sit back and watch Jacoby Brissett go 2-15 while there's 7 people at the stadium. Come on, turn your brain on.
Right. No. Yeah. There's no chance of that happening. And I think you have to rely kind of heavily on what the players are saying more in this situation than the coaches, because the coaches don't want to overstep and say something that they can't take back. But like, I'm going to put a little stock in what Marv said. I'm going to put a little stock in what Kendrick Bourne told you and I at Mac Wilson's celebrity basketball game, where they're impressed so far, their early impressions of Carson Beck, right? And like, can he build off of it? Can he put himself in a position in the pretty long runway that he's going to receive in the 26 preseason, where it's 4 games and 2 joint practices, 6 opportunities to prove potentially like, hey, this game speed's not too much for me to overcome, to go in there and game manage this thing and really kind of just deliver to the playmakers, just set up playmakers to distribute, to be the point guard out there, and that there's not going to be a large drop off from me to Jacoby or Gardner, and it's not going to be detrimental to this offense or this team from, being able to run offense or be in a decent spot to be complimentary as far as the defensive side of the football.
We both expect him to play in every preseason game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to play 4 preseason games, as you said. He's going to play probably average it, I would say, at least a half of football in every game. And you think about like the preparation that's going to go into that. I know they don't prepare like an actual NFL game.
Yeah.
But like you think about, okay, he's going to have 4 preseason games under his belt, and then he's going to have joint practices. I mean, like, and you're going to sit him until November. It's like, I would think with the amount of football he's going to play, live reps, live bullets, I think it's just, we're counting down. I think the earliest is going to be, unless he wins the job outright, is that week 4 matchup against the Giants. If the Cardinals are 0-3 and just they are a rudderless ship, and maybe the defense is playing above their capabilities and Jeremiyah Love looks good, but you're just not getting anything clutch from Jacoby Brissett, I think that's when they could make the move. Let's get to Nathaniel Hackett around the corner, his comments on the Cardinals quarterback room as a whole and why it appears to be they're prepping all these quarterbacks to get ready. That's coming up. It's PHNX. The NFL season is still many months away, but that doesn't mean you can't make money with our friends at Bet365. How about Major League Baseball action? Bo, is there a hotter team in Major League Baseball than the Arizona Diamondbacks? I hope you're cashing in with the MLB Bet $10, get $200. So baseball is back. And again, all new users with our friends at Bet365, when they sign up, they get that $10 bet with Bet365 when you throw $200 in bonus bets. Again, win or lose, it's a lot easier than getting Chase Field pool tickets. I've been gifted those because, well, frankly, I deserve it. Download the app today. PHNX 365 is the bonus code. Bet365, where winning is everything. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 years and older, physically located in AZ. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only. Get those 200 bonus bets, Bo.
I love that. Look, June, OTA's mini camp talk for us, but the World Cup is here too, friends, and there's no better way to enjoy it than Casamigos ready to go margaritas. This match calls for margs. That's right. Just look at the entire World Cup slate, and that's what you could say about each and every one of them. Whether you're hosting a full-on watch party or kicking back for the match, Casamigos makes it easy to bring everyone together. Friends, fans, even a few frenemies. Yeah, now that we've got our team selected here at PHNX, I'm rooting hard against all those who don't have our 6 selections for a World Cup competition. One margarita at a time. These are ready to enjoy, made with simple, high-quality ingredients like Blanco tequila, real lime juice, natural flavors. Just uncork and pour over ice, throw in a lime, and you're good to go. I gotta love that. Check them out right now. So no matter who you're rooting for, make sure you're saying cheers with Casamigos Margarita. Casamigos, the drink of the World Cup.
Nathaniel Hackett, who met with Bo and the rest of the Phoenix media today, has been around the NFL since his first job was back with Tampa Bay Quality Control in 2006.
That Lombardi? Who was that? Strom?
Yeah.
Was that in the 1960s?
He has coached rookies like Blake Bortles when he had his little bit of a run. He, of course, was with Aaron Rodgers, peak of the Packers, modern, not dynasty, but their success. And then, of course, we knew him closely here at All City when he was with the Broncos that one year, and he had Russ, who was shot at that point. And then the next year he went to the Jets, and they tried to get Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron came and played, and he blew out his Achilles, so he was forced to ramble with Zach Wilson. Then Aaron came back. So and then of course the last year he was with the Packers again. So he's kind of had an up and down trajectory. I would say, is it crazy to say this? He's had more success with young quarterbacks than veteran quarterbacks. You look at, and again, a lot of it's dependent on who the vet was. Russell Wilson at the end of his career, not great, right? Second half with Aaron was just okay. What he did, that Blake Bortles year where he threw 30 touchdowns, that was with him. And then you think about some of the success he had. Who's that? Mike White came in and balled that one year with him. Or no, that was Mike LaFluer. So point I'm trying to make is I do think that he gets a bad rap, and we didn't love the hire at the time because of how things went down with the Broncos and the Jets. But I think you have to look at the landscape of the quarterback rooms that were available. And I do think that given the optics with Carson Beck right now, I could see this marriage working out between the two and them having success together. It's easy to connect the dots there.
Yeah, I mean, you can have your reservations and be skeptical about Nathaniel Hackett, the head coach. He only lasted 15 games, right? And that was a ploy to try to get Rodgers, as you mentioned, but instead they got Dangerous, who was cooked. Only the Seahawks knew that really at that point.
Yeah.
And then, as a play calling OC, you could probably say, I don't like that. But he is in a non-play calling capacity now, and he is going to be a support system for Mike LaFluer from a game planning standpoint, in a development standpoint, and things that you can actually point to on Hackett's resume where he's found success are in those roles.
Yeah.
Like he found that success under Mike's brother, Matt, in 2019, and working alongside Aaron Rodgers. And as you mentioned, with Blake Bortles down there, and like Blake Bortles was a guy that barely played his rookie year, right? And then he goes in and he has this 30+ touchdown season.
Yeah.
Out of Central Florida. He wasn't a guy that had a lot of like experience like Carson Beck. He had the tools. He absolutely had the tools and the measurables, but and then he kind of flamed out after that. I think, Nathaniel Hackett, like hitting his role, it's fine. And you can find some positives, and him working along with Matt Schaub, who we've heard nothing but really nice things to be said about him getting into a coaching role. It's a good offensive mind and brain trust that they have between LaFluer and Hackett and Schaub.
Let's jump into some of these clips. Let's start with Hack on Carson Beck and kind of his trajectory right now as a rookie.
I mean, like I said, we have to coach them all like they're starters. When that time comes, whenever that is, it'll be there. I think right now we just have to keep pushing him. And you want young guys to stay out as long as they possibly can, just to learn. I mean, just even the process through a week, the process through a season. I mean, it's a marathon through the training camp, preseason games, a 17-game season. The speed of the game, I mentioned that before. I mean, it's like nothing else. And there's so many things that go through a quarterback's mind, from just what hash, why the call, what are the statistics, am I throwing right, am I throwing left, where's one, what do I do with the protection? I mean, I can go on and on with everything that they have to think about. And college sometimes is a little different. I mean, we're going under center now. So he had been under center for a while. Now he's going back under center. So there's just so many different things that you want them to be able to learn and grow as much as they can before you put them out there.
He gets into the weeds there a little bit at the end, but I think the one thing that people can continue to point back to is like Carson Beck, if he went from being under center to primarily a shotgun offense, like he's done it before.
Yeah.
The 6 years he was in college, Van Wilder, Beck, like he's seen it, he's done it, and it's not going, like, as far as the learning curve, it shouldn't be as extreme. So like I think the biggest hurdle for Beck is just going to be is the game speed. Is he going to be able to process against NFL defenders flying around there? And like that's Nathaniel Hackett, like really trying to temper expectations, but also like I'm not going to just discount that they're preparing everybody to be a starter. Like I know that's coach speak, but I also understand, like I know that the organization has the self-awareness of understanding that they don't have like a true QB1.
Right. They've got a young guy they like and a couple veterans. Like I'm sure Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew are impressive on a whiteboard, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen that before. And like they're going to ace the film session. When you put them on the field, they're going to regress respectfully to what they are. And what they are guys who had some moments in the league, but for the most part are guys who are better suited to be backups.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can they close the gap with Carson Beck from an intellectual standpoint and prepare him so that you can see if he is not in the mean of Minshew or Jacoby and instead can have a shot to be a consistent starter for this team. I mean, like Minshew himself played as a rookie. Like what are we doing here? Jacoby Brissett played as a rookie. Yeah. These guys, those guys played at lesser college football program. Washington State, when they were really bad. I mean, like
they were good that year.
Were they good that year with him?
Yeah, they were. That was Minshew mania. But no, I mean, to your point, I mean, he was at East Carolina before that. He played JUCO ball. Like he had to make.
He played right away in the NFL.
Right. Which was crazy, right? But it
NC
made him
State for Jacoby Brissett. Is that where he went?
What's that?
Where Jacoby
NC State? Yeah.
NC
State. And you'll hear from more about like his relationship with Hackett, and it's interesting how long ago it started. But like to get back to Beck, like even you weren't here last week. You might have caught this on social media at PHNX_Cardinals, but LaFluer says, as far as Beck, he gets it. Like so much. He's just a quick learner. Like there's nothing that they're going to throw at him that's over his head. And I heard Beck say this on a podcast when he was transferring from Georgia to Miami.
Yeah.
And they were asking him about, was it a bit daunting? I'm paraphrasing about, getting a new offense, and he was coming off the arm injury and then also not being able to like practice in that offense during spring ball for the Hurricanes. And he's just like, look, at the end of the day, football is football. As far as the plays, like most people are running the same plays, that just packaging them different, like the language and the lingo is a little bit different. Like he wasn't fazed by it at all. And if you look at the performance from this season, like they open up the season with a win over Notre Dame, and then they make their way all the way to the college football playoff final. Like that's like he didn't seem to have that big a thing. He's not Goodwill Hunting and he's going to his tutors and saying this shit is easy for me. But at the same thing, like he's not going to be overwhelmed by a lot of this. Like it's really just going to come down to him going out there and can he play it at this speed?
Yeah. And can he take care of the football? Does he know the playbook? Right. I love, like, I don't know who said the bite, but like they're learning the system and they're cramming the offense. And like this is when the foundational learning begins. It's just like, he's like, think about when did rookie camp start? When did the rookies get there? Like last month, like early in May.
Yeah.
Right after the draft. So he's been at it for almost 5 weeks now. Jacoby Brissett's played this league
before that. Like,
yeah,
I think LaFluer had, or Hackett or somebody had said post draft, like he was on Zoom and they were already talking.
So let's round up and say he's had 6 weeks to work.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett hasn't been here one day under this new regime. Now, he could show up next week and he's seen it. He's played in the NFL. He's had experience, but let's hear Hackett on Jacoby Brissett, by the way.
What did you think? What were your takeaways?
Well, he's a good player. I mean, I've known him for a long time. I coached him in the Senior Bowl. And, so it was fun to watch him. And hey, we're excited when he comes here. No, I mean, right now we're focused on those guys that are in the building. And for him, it's, whenever he's ready, we'll get going.
When he shows up, look forward to working with him. When he gets here.
Right.
Or not.
I mean, I think that wait's going to be over soon.
You think he's showing up? Did you get the sense today at the facility that he was going to show up Monday?
Yeah, I mean, there's not any kind of like, I wouldn't expect this, but anybody like language use like trying to pointedly threaten like, hey, you don't want to miss any more time. It's just like, hey, when he shows up, like they're expecting him to show up.
I mean, like, because he's going to start losing money if he doesn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that tweet.
6 figures. Yeah.
Next week is just going to be that tweet that comes out is going to be a disaster.
I think Sunday night we'll get something.
You think before Monday?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm not doing a show Sunday night.
Weinfuss has been on it like the night before each and every
that's true.
OTAs round. Like he's tweeting out, whether or not Jacoby's going to be there.
Texting Jacoby. Let's just say it. Like
I have no idea.
Josh Weinfuss is texting Jacoby, who doesn't have an agent, and Jacoby is listing out his demands. Sunday night, okay.
Maybe Saturday. I don't know. Maybe he wants to get it out early. Who knows? But yeah, I would expect the weekend before OTAs, and they're going to be out there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before breaking for the rest of the summer before camp.
That's not all Nathaniel Hackett had to say. He also talked about the receiver room, Bo, and there was a pretty bullish quote about one Marvin Harrison Jr. We're going to talk about Michael Wilson later in the show, but give us your breakdown of this Nathaniel Hackett bite. Let's play it now.
Up to this point, that room, just the character and the intelligence in that room has been so much fun to work with, which really makes them all interchangeable. I think for us, we want to be able to put everybody anywhere at any time, and that's something that Marv can do, Michael, all the guys. So I'm excited about that room, and Marvin's a really good player. I mean, when he gets going, I mean, he can run. I didn't realize he was as big as he was until I got here, and I had met with him too. He might have grown, I don't know. But I mean, and he makes some plays out there. I mean, when he gets the ball, I mean, he caught an in-breaker early in OTAs. I mean, wow, that X button, as I like to say. He's just got to keep working through everything. It's all those guys. Just keep getting great with the system, make it their own, and the more that happens, the better we'll be.
He bookended it with some, coach speak and then, the team in that room and the rest of the guys. But in the middle of that, like talking to Marv earlier this week and hearing Mike LaFleur's plan for his role, and then hearing Hackett say, hey, he caught an in route and he, hit the Jets. He hit the X button there. It gets me pumped. Like, how often do we see him utilized like that under Petzing during his first 2 seasons? I can't remember it.
Try never and go from there.
And if you look at his Ohio State, highlights, you see quite a bit of that.
This is his best shot. He's got a very player. Let's just call it what it is. Going from Drew Petzing to Nathaniel Hackett is like, the most pro player guy you can imagine. Like some guys need to be coached a certain way. I can't imagine Nathaniel Hackett and Marv ever getting into it. Just, based on the personality. Whereas like Drew Petzing, it was like oil and water with he and Marv for whatever reason. And now you've got Mike LaFluer also, who has seen the prototype of what you're trying to get from Marv. And now comparing him to Devontae Adams in his role last year in an offense that Devontae was on pace before his injuries and his body broke down at the end of the year. He was going to be all pro, 1,400 yards and like 20 touchdowns. He still ended with like 13 or 14 touchdowns, but like
other time just like stiff armed him. Yeah.
It's like when AJ Green fell off here.
Yeah.
It happens and it happens quick. Whereas like Marv is going to put in the time. He cares. It's this with him. You just got you got to get him in the right frame of mind. And like, I don't know about you. Like I felt bad. Like the more you hear him talk and he puts so much damn pressure on himself. And you can tell he feels like he's let people down. His dad won't even come to the games anymore. I hope his dad shows up now because of Drew being gone. Like hopefully, because that means something to him. Like you just want Marv to be back in the business of enjoying playing football again. Not that he said he didn't enjoy last year, but this is it. This is his best shot. And the more you hear about that, like here's something else too. Like I have a feeling like we're gonna know if it's going to work with Marv this year really early. Like we'll have a sense of like, this isn't going to be like Buffalo week 1 of his rookie season where he didn't catch a pass. Like we're going to see a like opening drive, delegating to him, bubble screens, comebacks. Like I think we'll have a pretty good idea early September where Marv is at.
Because LaFleur and Hackett, you can say what you want about them. They've been part of systems and play callers and systems where they emphasized the top talent in those offenses.
Get your playmakers the ball.
Adams, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp when he was rolling. Like there was Garrett Wilson. These guys know that the defenses are going to focus on them and they're going to figure out ways to get them the ball and in rhythm with the offense, where that didn't exist here. They didn't, like Drew Petzing didn't come in with that on his resume. He didn't understand that. Like they got a big shiny toy, an alpha bird in Marvin Harrison Jr., and they fumbled it tremendously. Like they took this guy and they wanted him to fit in where he should have just stood out. And like Michael LaFleur and Nathaniel Hackett like completely understand that assignment, and they're not going to be running Marvin Harrison Jr. as a decoy when he should be, the vocal point of the passing attack.
100%. Let's jump to another break. We're back around the corner. Nick Rallis. Nick Rallis on the comeback, or Nick Rallis last year as the Cardinals DC. We're talking that in his comments. PHNX Cardinals, hit the like. Check out our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team. We have a lot of fun on the show, but sometimes you have to get down to brass tacks, and you got to know who your legal team is when life strikes. That's when you turn to Mark and Alexis Breyer. They're the Husband and Wife Law Team. Phoenix is their home where they raise their 8 kids, and where their focus is always giving their customers back what they need, giving back to the community. And let's face it, after a serious injury, you want to hire an attorney that's focused on your best outcome, not how much money the firm makes. And that's where the Husband and Wife Law Team steps in. Their practice is 100% dedicated to you and your family. They actually go to trial. They're not there to cut a deal that's not in your best interest. And they're certified specialists by the State Bar of Arizona. Of course, nobody can guarantee the outcome of a legal case. However, there are promises they're proud to make you and all of their customers when it comes to that relationship. You can cancel at any time for any reason. You're going to get as much in your pocket as they receive in their fee, even if they have to drop it to do so. And again, if you've been in an accident, if you need assistance, if you had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first, 602-783-8841. That's 602-783-8841. Visit the website and the link in our show notes. Tell them Johnny and Bo PHNX sent you.
Look, cruising in the summer with the Arizona Lottery's brand new Route 66 100th anniversary scratchers. That's right. The iconic Route 66 is now in a $10 form ticket packed with over $13.5 million in total prizes from our friends over the AZ Lottery, including over $4 million in $100 prizes alone. Plus, players have a chance to win up to 10 times their prize with multipliers on the ticket. Arizona Lottery just wants to make sure you're winning something and something big. If you're looking to level up the action, check out the $30 Ultimate Riches Scratcher featuring even bigger prizes with massive winning potential from the Arizona Lottery. Celebrate 100 years of the iconic highway with a ticket inspired by one of America's most legendary roads. Grab your Route 66 or Ultimate Riches Scratchers wherever Arizona Lottery tickets are sold. About Circle K. Route 66, a registered trademark of Scientific Games, LLC, 2026. All rights reserved, friends.
Hit that like button. Almost 400 watching live. We appreciate all of you. Bo, do you appreciate Nick Rallis comeback tour 2026?
I'm here for it. I want to see it. I desperately want to see it. I need this defense to look like the team through the first 5 games rather than the last 9 games. We need good old Nick Rallis to return to the good graces of this fan base, to this franchise, be the up and comer that we thought he was.
Yeah.
You know, the defensive coordinator that in 3 consecutive home games held the opposition out of the end zone during 2024, the bend don't break mentality. But something broke last year, and it was multiple 40 burgers that were hung on the Arizona Cardinals. There was 300-pound men catching hook routes and nearly taking that route in the scamper to the end zone. It was just it was embarrassment. Just listen to Nick Rallis break down what went down in the stretch for the Cardinals.
It was a bad ball.
Yeah, bad ball.
Looking back on it, why was it so bad? Like, what went into that?
There's a lot of factors to that. There's things that I felt like I could have set up plans better, right? Things you could say we should have been executing better. You could look at certain things and say, was it a product of this or this or this? So you kind of took all those into account, made changes where you felt like you needed to make changes. I think in some ways the harder thing is where do we not want to make changes? Even if it wasn't looking successful, was it successful for us in 24, early in the year in 25, and not just, throwing everything away. So really kind of picking our spots there. And at the end of the day, like, no matter what we're doing schematically, how do we get the players to be in the best spot where they're playing at their best and they can go out there and win the game, And so that was ultimately like the underlying thing is like, are the players going to be really good at executing this? And if not, like, throw it out. So it's so layered, so many variables to this game, and you're not going to be able to say, oh, yep, I have the answer right there. But you better be ready to adapt, and you better be ready to continue to adapt as we go through OTAs and training camp and the season.
Good on him for admitting. It was bad ball, the baddest of bad balls.
Mm-hmm. Franchise record, franchise worst, 488 points. I felt like at the end of the season, him and Gannon were almost isolated as far as the defensive side of the football, and they were just really kind of trying to take on fixing everything, and things just festered. And you had this source, like there was a concern that what was being taught or coached was maybe too much, and it was causing guys to not just go out there and play and react, but guys to almost freeze. And you could see that, right? And that's especially in this league where things move so fast. Like you get your ass kicked that way. So like absolutely you don't want to just hit detonate on the whole thing, right? There was some good stretches of defensive football in 24 and early 25, but you really have to flush out went wrong. And you'll hear Rallis talk about the new role from Terrell Austin, but it's not just Austin like that's going to be there. Like I said, the isolation of JG and Rallis, I don't think there was a whole lot of experience on the rest of that staff where that's not the case any longer. He's got TA, who has been in the league for 20 plus years. He was just a DC with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been in this organization before. You got Kwiatkowski, the hard-nosed defensive line coach. You got guys all up on that defensive staff that I think, Rallis can at least use as a sounding board and create some sort of like safety net for the guy.
The quote that we were given was that the players were like overwhelmed at the end of last year defensively with what the game plans suggested, and they needed to get back to basics. And then you would watch them and they looked passive, right? They weren't flying around. They weren't being aggressive. The injury situation is warranted defensively, but it's a combination of injuries and just underperformers via their general manager. I mean, they put a lot of stock into Dalvin Tomlinson, didn't work out. The prior free agency period, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Justin Jones, Bilal Nichols, disaster. But then, you lose Mack Wilson Sr. Will Johnson was in and out of the lineup. Like Robert Taylor Demerson, they expected big things. He barely played. So like the injury situation on defense, like I will give them not a pass, but I'll give them more leeway to that as opposed to what the offense experienced last year. But it was unthinkable to have a defensive head coach and one of the young rising defenders who called your defense. Gannon didn't call the defense the first 2 years, and for them to be that bad defensively, especially like you look at like what Robert Saleh did with San Francisco last year with no players and won a playoff game in Philadelphia with no players. I mean, like, fair or not, like if you're going to be a defensive head coach or a defensive minded team, you have to do those kind of things.
Yeah.
DeMeco Ryans, when he, gets atrocious play from his quarterback, his defense bails him out. Now they've made some good personnel moves, but it comes back to I think you hit the nail on the head. I don't think they've had great position coaches. They have not done a great job developing young players, and the players that they have brought in, a lot of them have been inconsistent or outright hurt. So I can't sit here and say I expect this unit to surprise this year. There's no way they're going to be as bad as last year. Like you have to be. I mean, they were worse last year than they were the first year with no players. It has to be a special set of circumstances to be that bad.
Yeah, and I think just how this defense plays is going to be, outside of quarterback, the biggest reason why they either surprise people or they just fall in line with what the expectations are for this team. Like if there's a continuation or anything that's close to the dumpster fire defensively down the stretch last year, then they're dead.
Yeah.
But if they are able to turn back the clock, if they're able to kind of reset here and lean into like all that defensive talent that they've drafted and accumulated, and Rallis is the mind that we know he's capable of being, like, and they can get back to being at middle of the road, like they're going to be a team that you look at their schedule and it's the hardest in the NFL. They're going to be able to stay competitive in these games. And then it's going to come down to like what's going to separate them. And usually you look to key position quarterback to do that. But like if Rallis in this new defensive staff can kind of steady the waters a little bit after last year, that would be huge. And I think Terrell Austin is going to be a big calming voice in that. We asked Nick Rallis about that relationship. This was his answer.
I mean, well, it's a lot of things, honestly. And like, this is a unique role that I've never had. And the one thing that I was really wanted more than anything was, just kind of a check system. And so like as coaches, we're going to talk, we're going to really define out, what's my expectation for all the coaches. What is their responsibilities? What are they accountable for? What do they have authority and autonomy over? And with TA, I really wanted to do less of that, because it's like, what am I missing? What do you do different? Just see it organically, and we'll see where this thing like progresses, So there's been huge benefits in terms of scheme, technique. Okay, cool. Just overall organization, leadership, like those kind of things are really cool. I mean, he's been with a lot of different organizations, under different head coaches. So that's been that cool thing, and I'm gonna continue to get knowledge from him. It's not like we just had to sit down and let's just go through everything. Like, it just happens on a daily. But he's a huge resource for, I think, a lot of people in the building. Like, Mike's constantly talking to him. All the position coaches, quality controls. He's good in the coffee game too, which I respect that. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's up there. He's making, he gets the milk involved too. So we're talking like cappuccinos, cortados. He fits in very well.
I think this relationship is key for the success of the Cardinals defense. Like, and the fact that he can throw in like zinger there and he can, joke about it. And he's not, territorial about this, because, I mean, this is a guy that, got source reports that they offered his job to two other people, right? And then they brought in Austin with all this experience. What is that, usually a sign of? In this league, it's usually somebody that's going to be your in-house successor, but it's not viewed as like a threat right now. And it could be utilized as a very positive, just resource for a young DC like Nick Rallis to get back on track.
I mean, he was I think the secondary coach for Lou Anarumo when they were really good in Cincinnati on the way to the Super Bowl. I know he was the Cardinals all the way back in 2008. He was the Cardinals DB coach en route to the Super Bowl and worked with, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, that secondary Antro role. Like, the secondary ought to benefit from him minimum. Yeah. They ought to be way better. And the Cardinals they have to do a better job taking the football away. They just haven't done it enough. So, but you're right.
Those conversations, from what he explained, are fluid. It's not like, hey, review the work and then get back to me and check me here. It's just like, this is all going to be in real time. And I've seen him out there on the practice field, him and TA, they're standing right next to each other and they're taking in practice together. And I think that's good. And there was another bite there as far as Mike LaFluer. And here it's the continued conversation about the difference between Mike LaFluer and Drew Petzing. We don't have the bite because my stupid audio was cutting in and out. It would have been like nails on a chalkboard for you guys to listen, but he's always talking to Mike, and Mike is coming in. Sometimes LaFluer is so in the weeds offensively that he's just going at 100 miles per hour, but they're having those, next level conversations, and he's got that sounding board on the offensive side of the football that I would almost guarantee it wasn't there before. He had a tight relationship with Drew Petzing, but it seems like they were on the same wavelength, and like he could understand what Petzing was saying. Like, LaFluer coming in here and speaking like this master's class type lingo, like that should hopefully improve Rallis's game as a DC.
How about this bite? Nick Rallis on his relationship, now with Drew Petzing, now with Terrell Austin, with Max Melton. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, he's taken huge strides in a couple different ways. From a technique standpoint, there's been a couple things that were very like, hey, we got to get this improved, and you just see him like over the course of spring, it wasn't perfect, and then as time went, you really saw him making strides with his technique. I think the biggest thing with him is just understanding the stress and the strength of each call, and knowing like, where do I have to win on this, and where can I take a risk. I've seen a huge growth in terms of understanding, like deep understanding of when calls are going to be called and what they're really doing, and if I have to go win a stressful down, or if I have help and I can go make a play on a ball like this. So huge strides in several ways for Max.
But talk about the meme that he posted when you were retained. That's what we want to hear about.
I'm going to reiterate this because obviously not everybody tunes into every show, but like I think that Max Melton is back in the good graces of the organization.
Good.
Rallis. He wasn't available. He wasn't practicing the other day, but I wouldn't read too much into it. And, there was a lot of discussion in Nick's availability today about that room and just how competitive it's going to be. But like, I would say Will Johnson CB1 with Max Melton, the edge to be CB2 on the outside. And then, Sean Murphy Bunting making the the transition back inside.
And then you've got Denzel Burke, who had 3 picks last year as depth, which is great.
Yeah,
Because he
and
was a
star.
6th rounder. Yeah, I just do that. Max Melton, top 50 pick or top 60 pick, showed a lot of promise early on. I mean, he played that, I think, an entire game against the Chargers when they shut down Justin Herbert. They didn't allow the Chargers to score. I mean, for me, score a touchdown, I mean. For me, I look at him and it's just like you have to get more out of him. And not everybody is going to be, Michael Wilson, the human being to interact with, right? Some of these guys march to the beat of their own drum, but guess what? They're freaks and they played a lot of good football. And if Max Melton and Nick Rallis can make up this year, the team will be better for it. If I'm Nick Rallis, like I need Max Melton to be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to get fired. Like I can't do it. This is a players' league, and you can have undersized corners, and Denzel Burke is going to have a role, and I'm high on him. Max Melton's over 6 foot. He ran a sub 4.40. Gannon told us last year at training camp before the season. Sorry, he's our guy for speed receivers. Like we need him to be good. Like you can't just throw him away. He needs to play.
No, he does. And like just in Rallis's breakdown, just some of the stuff that bits and pieces as far as his awareness where he needs to be on any given call, where he needs leverage, where he can't stand to lose leverage. Like that's all super important for somebody like Max. Yeah, I agree, Rob. Like he is a dog, like, but you just need to be able to deploy him correctly. And like you'll see the traits, you'll see the athleticism in the measurables like on full display. But like the biggest key here, like, you could be excited about this secondary, and there's a ton of investment into it. Like Rallis and this defense, they need to figure out how to get quicker pressure up front. The defensive line, like Walt, his health is so important because you look at the depth behind there or lack thereof. Like it's Walt, he's your playmaker in the interior and the teeth of the defense. Like Darius, what's this 3rd season going to be? And then you like Dante, you like LJ Collier, you like, Caleb Porter or Caleb Proctor, but like, can those guys be disruptive enough to where those secondary guys aren't just going to be having to be in coverage for so long?
Yeah, I guess I told you about this. Somebody DM me from Pro Football Focus and said that they charted Darius as the worst defender in football last year. It's just like, what? Figure it out. New coaching ought to help that.
That's brutal. Like worst, like 26th overall pick in the draft.
Worst.
That's a combination of a bunch of things, right? I mean, big indictment on the player, but like you can't find a way for the 26th overall pick, a 1st round pick, to be more impactful than being the worst graded defender in the NFL.
And then like I saw another stat that Noah sent us on Instagram that like Jordan Birch had like one of the worst pass rush win rate. I'm like, I get it. Not everybody's going to be a home run, but like some of these guys can play. We just need to set them up for success to do so.
Well, there was veteran defensive players that came in, defensive linemen that were at least starting caliber that left here at some of the worst
years of their career. I think you make an argument. The Cardinals defensive line has been one of the worst coached units in the NFL last couple of years.
Yeah.
Just a terrible unit coached. We're back around the corner. Michael Wilson, the contract numbers to pay him went up today with an egregious contract dished out to Christian Watson. Bo and I give our take on that, plus your super chats. It's PHNX. So fired up for summer, in large part because we love the World Cup here at PHNX Sports. We also love Michelob Ultra. They're a proud sponsor of the U.S. men's national soccer team, and the entire planet's going to be locked in this summer. And here in the Valley and across the country, we're going to be going crazy for Team USA. And Michelob Ultra, a proud sponsor of both the men's national team and PHNX Cardinals, frankly. Michelob Ultra is the beer to match the moment, whether you're packed into a bar, watching at a party, or yelling at your tube at the house, or you're hanging out with Bo and I, as well as the rest of the PHNX crew during some of our summer watch parties. We know we'll have Michelob Ultra on standby, hand in hand. For every match, every goal, every play on the world's biggest stage, crack open something superior. It's my beer of choice, in large part because it's got a great taste and calorie conscious is the Venerable household. Michelob Ultra, the proud sponsor of the U.S. men's national soccer team and the official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri, Bo.
Michelob Ultra, now synonymous with the World Cup, and One AZ Credit Union synonymous with our great state. They're rooted right here in Arizona, and they're invested in you, and you got to love that. Listen, let's get right to the important stuff as well. They're offering a $350 new member bonus that's for a limited time. When you open up a new checking account, complete qualifying activities. That's real money. You could start your new checking account with. All you have to do is use the code CHK35K or CHK358. That's CHK358. One AZ has been serving Arizona for over 75 years, helping people buy new cars, start businesses, plan for the future, and love working with people that actually know the valley and understand the local community. And that's huge. It's different when you're doing business with folks who are truly part of AZ. They've got 25 branches across the state, plus online banking, so your money is always easy to access. Check them out right now. Financial coaching, notarizing documents, whatever you need, and $350 when you open up a new checking account with the code CHK358. Visit oneazcu.com for all the details.
Like button, I would like if this team were to pay Michael Wilson sooner rather than later. He is one of our slam dunk contract extension candidates, along with Paris Johnson Jr. and Yelda Froholt. But earlier today, Bo, that market got a little bit more muddled. Fresh off the extension to Drake London for $150 million, the Packers got into the game. They paid consistently injured, inconsistent wideout Christian Watson a bevy of money, including $110 million, with I think a $30 million or $28 million signing bonus. We don't know the guarantees yet, but a 4-year deal that eclipses $100+ million. I mean, like, I don't know what the Cardinals are waiting for. I do feel like Michael will get signed at this rate before the season begins. But man, you hit the nail on the head. What was it? Yesterday we talked about this. It's like he's going to get Christian Kirk money prorated for inflation now. And so he's going to be the Puka Nacua of their offense. Michael LaFluer basically said that. You got to get him locked up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate what's going on. Like, you can't control what other organizations are doing. You can only control what you're going to do. And the way that you can kind of cost control this is maybe getting ahead of it. And I can understand like where they pause on this. I mean, Sleeper NFL puts it out here, and I don't know if they aggregate it from somebody, so I'm sorry to credit them, right? But like, Watson's new annual salary is $27.6 million. And they're like, listen to the company he's keeping with this type of money.
Right.
Alec Pierce, who just got paid, which Alex Pierce, he's fine.
You'd rather have Mike than Alex Pierce.
Right. You got Jalen Waddle making 28.2. DJ Moore, who just got traded, 27.5. Jamison Williams making 26.6. And Devontae Smith is making 25. Like, those are guys who I think are definitive wide receiver twos in this league, right? And that's the cost. That's the market cost for wide receiver two now. Like, what we thought, like Christian Kirk was that, and Jacksonville was able to feature him early on, but for the most part, he was a slot. He was a wide receiver. He was making $18 million. That's the new price of wide receiver two in the NFL. It's insane. And like, good on Mike. I mean, I think it's gotten to the point where the Cardinals just have to kind of go into the season and see if he can, because there are a couple factors that are going to go against this. Like, you're going to pay Michael Wilson now, probably have to beat $27.6 million based on Christian Kirk or Watson and his lack of production, right? This is a guy consistently around 600 yards receiving, not the 1,000, regardless of how he got there. Michael Wilson coming off the 26th season. And Wilson is shown to be durable at the NFL level after not being that much at the college level. But the way that the Cardinals and what their offensive identity is trending to be is they drafted Jeremiyah Love. They've got a bunch of, offensive linemen that are geared up to run block. They're going to have this question at quarterback all season long. I know they got playmakers outside, but like, how much are they going to run? It's going to be contingent on, like, are they going to have to pass a lot again? But they passed at an unprecedented amount to end that season.
They did, but he also, Mike, did not have meaningful targets the first 5 games of the year.
Right.
I'm going to read you his targets. 1 target in week 1, then 1 target in week 2, then 1 target in week 3. And then it bumped up to 3 targets against Seattle in week 4 and 2 targets against Tennessee in week 5. Marv or not, like his targets ballooned up in the second half. I mean, Jacoby Brissett was a big part of that. The style of play was a big part of that. But, I look at a game like Jacksonville, for instance, which was a back and forth game. I mean, he had 15 targets, 10 catches, 118 yards. He played really well that game. I look at a couple instances, though, in the division, 185 yards against San Francisco against, a defense that did not play well in the secondary last year, but the Cardinals got railroaded 41-22. Right. And then the game that Mike LaFluer coached and called the plays in the desert, Mike went for 142, but then that game was 45-17.
Right.
I think the best encapsulation of Mike was in the finale, 8 targets, 5 catches, 99 yards and a touchdown, almost 20 yards per clip, where that game was, I rewatched those highlights the other day. That game was close into the third quarter. Mm-hmm. And Mike did most of his damage early. I think for Mike, it is not a question of can he do it. I think he just didn't get meaningful targets and was unfortunately thrust into a situation in which the quarterback play was up and down. The offensive coordinator didn't know what he was doing. Marv had expectations that weren't fulfilled. And then here comes Michael Wilson. I don't think they can afford not to pay him because of what he means to this franchise.
Costs would go up.
Costs will go up. It's like he's everything you want. Like your money. It's like if you're not going to pay Michael Wilson, you should resign because who the hell are you going to pay?
Right.
You're like you got him as a 3rd rounder in your first draft. It's a coup for you. You've developed him. He clearly is capable, and he's an elite human being. And like fair or not, like we're excited about Marv and what he can do this year. What if Marv flames out right now? What if Marv gets hurt again? You're going to pay Michael. The Michael Wilson then goes for about $1,300 this year, and he's even more expensive. Pay him now. I think there's a huge mistake on the part of the Cardinals to wait.
Price tag just goes up and up. Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL, though.
Especially, and you look at your cap forecasts in 27, and it's like you can do it, and you just have to look at the market and like, do you have anybody in house that can emerge and do the things that Mike can do? If Marv were to be out again, do you have a guy that you could step in and be wide receiver 1? I think the answer is no, as much as you can like, Kendrick Bourne, but no, like the answer is
but I think you can be a good team and a good offense. If Marv does not work out, let's play that hypothetical.
Okay.
You can have a really good offense with Trey, Mike, and Jeremiyah Love.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
And that's why we're so bullish, because if Marv works, then you've got a ton of tools to work with.
Yeah.
And one of the best, skill player groups in the NFL. I think for like Trey McBride's the best tight end in the NFL. You drafted Jeremiyah Love to be a top 5 back, and then you just have this 1,000-yard receiver. I think that's more than enough. Like clearly you want good players, but
and obviously, like if you don't pay him, somebody else is going to pay him.
Yes, maybe in your division.
Yeah,
you turn around like the LA Rams could pay him. They'll pay him. They're not that ignorant, and he's talked about it. He's keeping the conversations in house, but like he and Paris, man, get those deals done. Move on. And Yelda for all. But like if you're Monty, hello, these were your guys. You need some wins. Come out and tout, hey, we drafted and developed these guys. Because I'm going to tell you right now, ain't nobody getting extended from the 2024 draft anytime soon. Nobody.
Right. And like
Ryman extension you want to do?
Especially on the heels of these horrible deals that we've seen, like with Watson, and people are like, he's getting paid how much for what production? Like the Cardinals are going to look like a good franchise by getting him at.
They don't want that good price though. They'd rather deal with Jacoby Brissett's holdout. That's where the money's going. It's going to Jacoby.
I retract my previous statement of saying, wait. I can't do that to my guy, Mike.
He deserves it more than anybody. He's been put through hell. And like, I feel bad.
8 catches, 52 yards through 5 games last year. Then he had 1,000 yards at the end of the day.
It's crazy too, because you and I probably feel like jackasses because we would talk to him and be like, what do you think about Marv? How great is Marv?
Yeah.
And we've always given Mike his due, and like Mike could end up being better than Marv.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's crazy how the league works. Hit that like button. Let's jump into your super chats. Kicking us off, a very generous $20 super chat both from Trenton Smith. Time was good at getting good free agents to come to Arizona and bad at drafting. Monty seems like he's better at drafting than getting free agents to come here. The next GM we hire needs to make sure they check off both boxes. I agree. Kime was the worst at drafting, though. He wasn't the worst. Whereas Monty hasn't done enough with his draft picks yet. Like, we just started the 2024 draft is not good. But you're right. Like, Kime, love him or hate him, had relationships, took Bill O'Brien out to dinner at St. Elmo's and got that deal done for Hopkins. Like, is Monty doing those kind of things?
Yeah, the trade market, he had his two best moves were Chandler Jones and good old DeAndre Hopkins coming on. I mean, like, you could very rarely find a couple wins in the draft. But no, it's a good point. Yeah, get a GM who can do both, man. That's what you're seeking out. Like, and I don't think that's hard. That shouldn't be that hard as far as that position. There's plenty of them who can excel in that area. Never a pleasure.
The Cardinals' money. Good Lord.
Say that again.
Find somebody who will take the Cardinals' money as a GM. It's like, hey, we have $150 million. Will you come play here? I don't know if I want to give Malik a couple more $1 million. Okay, well, look at your alternative.
How about never a pleasure's been a member for 8 months? That's fantastic. Thank you for that loyalty. Love Jersey will be here on Monday. So excited to watch him play.
My son's jersey will be here on Monday as well, coincidentally, from Fanatics.
I was thinking about like what the status of your son was going to be, and I got my son tomorrow's turning 1. I'm like, maybe I lock him in his first jersey, and then my other son's having a birthday later this month. I think a Love and McBride jersey are overdue at this point.
I think those are very appropriate purchases. I had to talk my son away from another Desert Dune jersey, though. He has 2 Desert Dune jerseys.
Yeah.
Trey and Marv. And so I said, just get the Jeremiyah Love Icy White, which is going to have to be stain sprayed all to hell because he's going to get everything on it.
What is it called?
Tortilla.
No.
Desert. We call it Desert Dune. Is it Desert?
Yeah, it's definitely not that.
What is it?
The rivalry jersey. It's called
Desert Tortillas.
Stop it.
It's hang on. This is going to bother me.
Tortilla
Arizona
Desert.
It's just rivalry jersey.
Rivalry Tortillas.
It's called the Desert Dune. Yes, it's called the Desert Dune. That's the name of it.
All right.
Desert Dune Tortilla Rivalry.
I love my personalized one my guy Brian got us for the draft.
Yes, I love it as well. Yeah, the all whites will always be my favorite. I think the Cardinals uniforms are good. People hate them, but I like them.
But congrats on the New Jersey. Headed your way. How about R. Lopez, MD? Cardinals quarterback approach this year brings out the old Pepper Brooks coach. Quote, well, I can't speak. It's a brave strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works.
Not well.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Bold strategy, Cotton, from the Dodgeball. Great movie.
What if I would have told you this time last year that we're going to fast forward to June next year and that this would be the quarterback room?
Yeah, I'd be depressed for days. Months, maybe. Because at this time last year, I'm just like, I was Teflon. Like, you couldn't tell me that this team wasn't, at the very least, be like 8-9, 9-8. Remember when you were going to sign up for 9-8 in a playoff appearance? And I said, no.
Playoff win.
You're selling low on this team.
You're like, no, they're going to the NFC Championship game. And I'm like, okay.
I didn't say that.
You said
I
it.
think they're telling Beck if you can dodge a Darius, you can dodge a Garrett.
Probably not, because I don't think that's necessarily true. If you can dodge a Darius at this point, you could dodge like a rolling refrigerator.
Dear God. Brian P, $5. Does Beck look like ass in practice? Why won't Bo dream with us that Beck will be the game manager we need? How does Beck look in practice, Bo?
He looks fine. I mean, nothing that's gonna like blow you away. I mean, you're only seeing him in position drills. Like, I get to see him in team a little bit, but I can't say anything about it.
Well, what about Kyler Murray lighting up OTAs, though?
He does. He lights up OTAs all the time. Like, check back on a show from last year at this time. We're probably like, yeah, Kyler looks good. You know who doesn't look good in OTAs? JJ McCarthy.
No, he's bad. He's a bad player. Corey Barnes, 99. I should have stuck with my original take that night when I was like, this guy can't play. And people came after me because he had a comeback win. I stand by it. Corey
Against
Barnes.
the Bears? A Bears game?
Yeah, or something. And I was like, this guy stinks. This guy can't play. And then they're like, oh. And I'm like, no, he's bad. $9.99 from Corey. Thank you, Corey. How about this stat? No AZ Cardinals quarterback has ever lost 5 in a row. Jacoby Brissett holds that record as well, most losses in a season. And that's with him only playing 12 games.
Man.
Pay him. Pay the man.
Is that true? I mean, because they've definitely they've stacked losses before. They started out 4-0 one season and went 4-12.
5-11.
5-11, sorry.
I mean, I can't believe John Skelton didn't lose more than that.
But I think it was like a mix of Skelton and was it Max Hall mixed in there?
Yeah.
Or was that the different season?
No, Wiz got fired for sure. Brian P, $5. Kyle Odegaard and Mike Jurecki think we should wait. Tells you we should re-sign him now. Otherwise, he's going to get T. Higgins money. Does anybody think Michael Wilson's not going to be good this year? If the idea is like Michael Wilson's going to be good this year, you should pay him now. He's in a contract year.
Yeah.
He just had 1,000 yards. You should pay him now.
And what's the alternative? You go to the draft and you try to find
no more
Michael Wilson, or you go pay somebody more on the free agent market. Like, just keep your guy. He's good.
Daniel, been a member for 5 months. Thank you, Daniel.
Like, what? I want a good receiver. I want an upgraded for better receivers. Like, what's that cost? Well, if Michael Wilson's going to get 27, 28 million, it's going to cost you $30 million.
It's like, what if Mike's better than he was last year? What if he just balls out? I know there's a concern about like targets and getting everybody their numbers this year, though. I'm sure that plays a part in it to some degree. Just moved to Arizona this week. Welcome. Can't wait to make to some events. Let's go. Other than a couple roaches, it's been great. Just in time for the beckoning. Yeah, you got to watch out for those roaches. You got to watch out for scorpions and black widows. Get your place sprayed.
I've never seen a scorpion. I've lived here for 20 years.
Well, you're in the wrong area then.
No, you're in the wrong area. If you're seeing scorpions,
East Valley gets scorpions. I have.
Wait, that good? That's not a good thing.
No,
Central Phoenix, rise up. We don't have to deal with that crap. Roaches, we do deal with.
Never seen a scorpion.
I've never seen a scorpion like in the wild or in a house.
Crazy.
Yeah, scorpion or snake. Knock on this.
I've had all
table from our guy Saul. I hope that that luck continues. But get a good pest control guy and try to keep those roaches out of wherever your place is.
I probably had double-digit scorpions in this house. We live in South Gilbert. When I lived in Maricopa.
You know how you're trying to recruit me in East Valley? I'm out now. I'm completely out on the East Valley. Come on. I'm out.
When I lived in Maricopa in a calendar year, I had scorpions in my house, black widows in my backyard, and I had a rattlesnake in my backyard.
Out.
Anything went Maricopa. It's just, you probably see people with 3 heads there. I mean, just people walking around. It was that kind of, it was up for grabs. It was like that show Fallout. It's like any kind of critter was out there running around. We get coyotes out of here too, Bo. You probably don't get those in Phoenix either.
I've seen some. I've seen a few coyotes.
And I've lived in like some newer developments before. Like I was up in like North Phoenix. I was in Scottsdale. I've been in Chandler before. Like more been in like central, like downtown, uptown, midtown area. Like just haven't seen any.
I haven't seen a single rattlesnake.
Yeah, Scottsdale, you're not going to see them.
But like even out on my hikes, I'm outside every weekend.
I can't believe you haven't had any scorpions in your house.
I was on a hike with my wife and she nearly stepped on a rattler, and that's the closest I've come.
Wow. See, it's something Mondo's saying that's why you and me are so battle hardened, JV. That's right. We like this.
You know what? I am actually like shocked about like this is the first I've heard of this. I would have thought if you had that, you would be just taking out scorpions. And
you know what you have to do with them. And I do this. You have to get a big cup, and get it in there, and then go put it outside. Because I've done this before. I flushed them down the toilet. They can swim in water.
Yeah.
And then you can't step on them and kill them because they could have babies on their back. So the only thing to do, I've sprayed some with bleach before, but the only thing you can do is you can get them in a cup or a box and then put them outside. But they whip that tail around. It's crazy. And they're like bright orange. I can't believe you don't have any scorpions.
You got the little ones or you got the bigger ones?
Medium size. JV, pick up the fruit when it falls. Citrus brings insects, which brings the scorpions. Employ child labor. They
need something to do this summer, your kids.
That's true. My daughter always brings in the fruit from our trees too, and I'm like, we're not eating that. Throw that away.
Why?
Come on, that's so good.
That's right. I am true Slim Shady. I am Johnny Irwin. One day I'm just going to be dead, and you guys are going to be like, Johnny was killed by a scorpion. We have a lot of roaches too. I see cockroaches running around.
You got a pest control?
Oh yeah, they come.
Okay,
come every 4 to 6 weeks. Our house doesn't have roaches, but
fire. What's the worst pest control ever? Yeah, you get a bunch of roaches. And
you know what they tell me too when I see them?
Widows.
They're like, yeah, that's normal. I'm like, okay, maybe if you did your job better, it wouldn't be normal. I'm shocked that I would venture to say most people in the East Valley, Chandler, Gilbert, Tempe, Mesa, get scorpions.
Nightmare. That's a nightmare.
Maybe we'll deliver Bo a scorpion from me to him.
I know somebody out there that watches is in pest control. Help out our guy.
I'll take care of it. Cameron's asking me who do I have? Some chain.
Honestly, don't put them on blast.
They're not good. They don't do a good job. The guy who comes out, I don't like him. But then I never think to like reschedule or anything like that.
Oh man.
No, Drew Petzing isn't doing my pest control.
Yeah, I got plenty of lizards walking around.
Me too. In my apartment.
That's right. Noah, he's got a pet lizard. Everybody probably could have guessed that.
It's a gecko.
Sorry, it's a gecko.
What's his name? Harry?
Phil.
It's close. Wow, this show's gone off the rails.
Yeah, we're hemorrhaging viewers at this point, and I understand it. But look, we appreciate everybody tuning in on another just Thursday episode here, talking cards ball. There we go, Darth Vader. Let's get it going.
DM me, Darth Vader. Let's get some real professionals out here because I'm having to do a lot of the heavy lifting for these pests. Lizard overlords are real quiet since this dropped. Phil the Gecko. Can we get Phil on a studio show at some point, Noah?
Yeah. He's probably better talking.
When this team's 2-14, Phil might host a post-game show. We're just Phil's breaking down the top 10 draft picks.
Yeah. Or we're gonna do like a live show from Johnny's house. It's gonna be like an episode of Fear Factor. You're just gonna have scorpions crawling all over you. Well, all right, let's end this thing before we get into what's the next section after pest control. Yard care. I don't know if
somebody trim my trees for not an egregious price before monsoon season. I'm having a tough time finding somebody to do that.
One more show before the weekend tomorrow, and then we're going to learn some things about Jacoby Brissett and this team come Monday in mandatory mini camp. So lock in tomorrow and join us at 4:30. We'll be back with a fresh episode. Make sure you're following along on Twitter at PHNX_Cardinals. Follow along on Instagram as well. Follow Johnny at Johnny Venerable. Follow me at Bo Brock. And for Noah, I'm Bo. And John.
Hang on. What? Mac Daddy, $4.99. Oh. I lived in Yuma for 23 years, my life. Only seen 2 rattlesnakes, 0 scorpions, black widows galore, 1 camel spider. It's camel spiders, I'd be out. That's crazy.
They got like humps and stuff?
No, they're just enormous, and I think they jump around, and they're poisonous.
Out on that, too. Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you. Stay safe out there, my guy, Mac Daddy, and everybody else with pest control problems like Johnny. Guys, have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you on a Friday edition. PHNX Cardinals, 4:30. See you.
We all silly like the mayor.